You ever just stare at the ceiling? Maybe it's 3 a.m., maybe it's 11:47 a.m. on your lunch break, and suddenly wonder, how the heck am I holding all of this together? I mean, really, how are we still functioning? There's work, relationships, money, dreams, body aches, doubts, bills, social media, food choices, trying to remember passwords, trying not to doom scroll, and somewhere in the middle of that, we're also supposed to find joy, right? Purpose, meaning. So lately, I've been thinking a lot about where I am in life, not in the where do you see yourself in 5 years kind of way, which, by the way, should be banned from all job interviews, but more like, how did I get here? Where am I exactly professionally, financially, emotionally, spiritually? And maybe, more importantly, how am I still going? The truth is, some days I don't know. But something pushes me, and recently I found myself asking, what is that thing? And then it hit me, hope. Hope. Not the Pinterest quote over a mountain range kind of hope. Not the commercial kind that tries to sell you a gym membership or a gratitude journal, but the quiet, stubborn, slightly unreasonable belief that maybe, just maybe, tomorrow will be worth waking up for. That despite the mess, I am not done yet. I don't think I ever really understood the full depth of that word until I started to feel the imbalance in all areas of my life. Like when I was juggling too many meetings, prepping for presentations, trying to be emotionally available to my husband, paying bills, planning our next vlog series, showing up for friends, staying healthy, trying not to burn out, and still figuring out how to be a decent human being. It feels like life doesn't ask you to balance everything. It just throws all the balls in the air and says, good luck. And yet we do it. Not always gracefully, very imperfectly, but we do. Sometimes we think others have mastered this balancing act, but the truth is we all stumble. And I think the reason we keep showing up, brushing ourselves off, is because of that tiny glimmer of hope. That whisper that says, maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this is the step forward. I read somewhere that philosopher Gabriel Marcel described hope not as a feeling, but as an act of faith, a decision we make despite uncertainty.
That hope is rooted deeply in faith.
I love that. Hope isn't passive. It's not waiting for the light. It's lighting a match in the dark and saying, okay, let's see what's here.
Now, hope has three components to it that we want to know about and that I'm excited to chat about. The first aspect of hope is having a hopeful sense of a better future. So kind of the definition of hope is that you think your future is going to be better than your present. In order to have that, you need to have clear goals. Now, that's not enough, right? Just having goals could be fantasizing. You also have to have the sense of what researchers call agency. Agency is a fancy word for confidence or sense of empowerment. You can actually achieve your goals, right? So here you are. You have goals, you have agency. Those are the first two components. The third component is this, the pathway to achieve the goal. So you want to go from here to there, and you have pathways, but it's with an S, plural. You don't just have one path, right? You have multiple.
And science backs that up too. Psychologist Charles Snyder came up with a hope theory, which basically says that hope isn't just about wishful thinking. It's about having goals, figuring out pathways, and believing in your ability to move forward. It's practical. It has legs. It's gritty. Maybe that's why I keep creating, filming, editing, sharing stories, even when the views are low or when I second guess myself, because creating something from nothing is one of the most hopeful acts a human can do. I've seen hope manifest in my own life during impossible moments, like when I lost my mom. That was the kind of grief that splits time into before and after. But even in her final days, especially in those quiet hospital garden moments, there was this peace in her eyes, this acceptance, and this insistence that my life as her son would be beautiful. That message lives in me. That, too, was definitely hope. Or during the Olympics in Paris, standing in a crowd, sweating through my shirt, cheering until my throat gave out, watching Simone Biles flip into history, Carlos Yulo break barriers for the Philippines, Team USA dig deep for bronze, all those athletes pushing themselves through injury, heartbreak, pressure. Why? Because they believed. Hope made them train. Hope made them show up. And somehow, that belief transferred into the crowd. It transferred into me. And let's be real. Hope doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. It asks you to risk disappointment, to care again after a heartbreak, to dream again after failure, to forgive, to stay. But hope is not delusion. It's not pretending things are fine. It's the ability to sit with imbalance, the grief, the messiness, and still say, I'm going to take that next step. Maybe that's why even on the hardest mornings, I still roll out of bed. Maybe it's why even when I question if I'm being a good enough person, friend, husband, leader, co-worker, I still show up. It's not because I figured it out, but because something in me keeps choosing to believe there's still more life to me, more life to live, more stories to tell, more laughter to come. It's kind of hilarious when you think about it. Humans are a mess. We forget stuff, hold grudges, get parking tickets, argue about pineapple on pizza. But we also sing lullabies to babies we hope will grow up in a better world someday. We fall in love again after a heartbreak. We plant trees we'll never sit under. We make YouTube videos in hopes someone somewhere might feel a little less alone. So yeah, I've failed, been let down. I've let others down. I've succeeded. I've learned. I've danced badly in my living room. I've cried in Ubers and laughed in the middle of serious meetings for no reason. But through it all, something kept me going. Not certainty, not control, but hope. Hope isn't the loudest voice, but it's certainly the one that stays, even when everything else feels like it's falling apart. It's the through line, the thread, the reason we wake up one more day, lace our shoes, forgive ourselves, and try again. So if you're feeling out of balance, overwhelmed, or wondering how you're still functioning, maybe ask yourself, what has kept me going so far? And if a word rises to the surface like it did for me, let it speak. Let it guide you. Because maybe, just maybe, that quiet little whisper isn't so little after all. Thank you for watching, and please let me know what you think. Peace and blessings.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more.